Good evening from Alderman Farms. Y'all see somebody's missing. Tommy had an appointment. Hey, Amanda. Hey, JM. Hey, Suburban. Hey, Claire. Kirkland's Farm. Barbara Davis. Hey, how y'all doing tonight? Um, I was telling them that Tommy had an appointment, and so he's not here, but he is watching. I have him on the phone actually, because making sure I get everything going just right. Um, but we have been dealing with so much rain, y'all. I just don't know. Uh, the garden's not faring very good. We don't have any garden pictures tonight. So, uh, hey Beth, have a lot of y'all popping in now. But anyway, I see somebody has mentioned the mushrooms already. Uh, I did a little bit of research today, and I really think it's that kind of mushroom Tommy thinks it is. I'll go ahead and show y'all a picture if y'all haven't seen the video. Tommy's done a couple of videos um, on it. Tommy, what's the name of that mushroom again?
Golden chanterelle.
Yeah, golden chanterelle. We believe that's what this mushroom is. We're not experienced mushroom people, so don't go by what we say, but we are doing our research. And the way that the bottom of it is kind of, um, what is it called?
What now?
The bottom is not.
Gills.
Yeah, it doesn't have true gills on it, and so that makes us think it's the right one. So, oh, thanks, Faye. She says she likes our new times. She likes our new time slot. So, yes, but doggone it, it messed Tommy up tonight. But typically it won't. So, anyway, hey Susan. So anyway, but because of all the rain is the reason, from what we understand, the reason we found these mushrooms is because of the rain. It likes it. They usually grow in the spring through the fall when it's real wet, and so there's just tons of them out there. So we're real excited. Um, but anyway, so we're tickled about that. Our friend Andy Allen, that's a chef, um, he's pretty sure, and he may be coming tomorrow to go check it out with us and see. So we'll just have to wait and see. I kind of would like somebody that's experienced with looking at them to really, let's see, Two Angel Farm actually contacted Tommy about it and sent him a lot of information. So we're doing our research. Um, so we're just waiting to see. Um, yeah, we had a lot of different things go on this week. We didn't have a lot of gardening stuff going on. We can walk in the garden. We're able to pick our squash because Tommy had the mulch, a lot of pine straw between the rows, and so we were able to get out there and pick the squash, and I'm able to pick the cucumbers, and I can walk around my boxes. But when you start getting past that, we haven't got the mulch between the rows, and my sister and I were out there, and I went to walk down my snap bean row, and I slipped so bad I almost fell down. So it's just because we have a lot of clay soil, so um, it's really hard to walk out there. And so I had done a video last week on the snap beans, showing you how when they grow up to the top, how you bring them down and train them to go around because they get really tall and then fall over. Well, I've actually had some that's grown up as long as my arm or longer, and now I saw the seed and they've fallen down because I just can't get in there. There's still blooms. Excuse me. The rain hasn't affected the blooms on the snap beans. They're staying, so a lot of times they'll fall off when you have too much rain. So I'm hoping to have a good snap bean harvest. I only did 2 rows this year where I usually do 3 because I still have some canned. So I'm planning on getting mine put up, and then I'll start selling them at the farmers market. But anyway, I see Beth mentioned I had told people that I have started using milk in my starter, and it really has made a difference. And she said it's made a difference in hers too. So anyway, I wanted to share with y'all too. We put up our sourdough cinnamon roll video. Finally. I'm sorry it took me so long. I don't make them a lot during the off season, so that's what's taken so long. So I actually got to put up the video, and I was so excited. I asked people to send in pictures, and Pam Peoples is one of the ones that did send me in pictures of her cinnamon rolls, and didn't they turn out wonderful? She did a really good job. So I was excited to hear from her, and so and I'm glad, Beth, that the milk is making a difference in your starter too. I was just really amazed at how much it really got mine going and everything. So Carol, thank you. She says she loved my edible arrangement. I didn't know Tommy had already gotten that video up. I don't have a picture to show y'all, but there is a little video of me putting together an edible arrangement for a friend of ours named Richard. And Richard, I hope you enjoyed your arrangement, and I hope you're getting well if you're watching. But anyway, that was really fun. I went out to the garden. We were going to it kind of like a joke and kind of to be nice. Richard comes from Brandon, and he comes to the farmer's market, and he really likes the cucumbers. And so that was the first idea, I was going to pick some flowers and stick some cucumbers in with the flowers. And well, the flowers look terrible. They're in the garden. They're just terrible. So I thought, when I was out there, well, why not just make an edible arrangement? And so I picked some big leaves of kale. I had remember the bugs had really gotten to my kale bad. So I picked some kale. I picked some cilantro. I picked some nasturtiums and some nasturtium leaves, basil, parsley. I also some long stems of mustard that was actually gone to seed. And I threw in some arugula too that was gone to seed. So it was really made for an interesting arrangement. It was really pretty. And I picked 2 small cucumbers that were kind of curved like that, and I stuck them in there, and I put 1 big cucumber in the middle. So anyway, he really likes cucumbers, so I just thought that would be funny. So yeah, P, I don't know if Tommy's in the description. I don't know if he's gotten the recipe actually listed down there or not, but I do go over the ingredients for the cinnamon rolls, so it shouldn't be too bad to get it written down. Another interesting thing we did this week, I had Tommy come help me. I do 2 big dish pans of bread dough on Wednesday nights for the market on Friday, because I get my dough ready Wednesday night. It rises all night Wednesday night, and then Thursday morning I put it into loaves. And so I actually had Tommy help me. I would have to start all over again once I got one batch ready, so it makes it a lot quicker to have somebody help and stir it up. And so I had Tommy help me, and I had already added some of the ingredients in the pan, and I said we ought to, or maybe Tommy even thought about doing it. So we ended up doing it live, and so that was really fun. And so here's a picture of us doing it live, and so we were kneading the dough, and Tommy did a good job, but I was waiting for him to have it all stuck all over his fingers. It's so funny. It's like it almost seems like he sticks his fingers in it or something. I don't know. It gets all stuck to his hands. That's what happens to the guys. The same thing happens to Corey. I don't know why. But anyway, so we had fun doing that. I don't remember how long it lasted. But anyway, so we made our dough, and then this is a picture of what the dough looked like the next morning when I went over to Mama's house. And so it rose up really good. It just totally filled up that pan. And I mean, if you'll look, we were just about through kneading that dough right there, and you see how low it is in the pan, and it just rose up nice and pretty. And then here is my bread once I split the dough up. And I'm going to tell y'all, I've watched videos at 7D Farm, and I haven't seen Sherry on here tonight, but I've watched a lot of her videos, and she actually weighs her dough. And if you'll notice how even my loaves of bread are, that's the most even they've ever been, because I weighed my dough, and so each loaf has the same amount in it. And so I was very, very pleased with how everything turned out. Um, with the dough and everything. That's my little rolls that I make. And let's see, this is the cinnamon bread. I do a cinnamon roll. So I roll it up, and there's cinnamon in the middle of that also. This is another loaf of bread that I tried. That's new. And of course, I'm putting my mouse over it where you can see it, but you can see the little seeds and stuff on there. That's a 5-grain bread that I've brought to the market, and it has been selling. So that's something new, and I learned that from 7D Farms also. She's got a lot of good videos, and she's putting them up all the time. Here is my breadsticks, and that's just my all this is sourdough, and I'm just adding different things in. Gene, no, Tommy's not under the weather. He had an appointment this evening, so he wasn't able to get back here. So he helps me get everything set up. Oh, can y'all hear me? I forgot to put my earphones on. I put it on now. So, because the earphone has a mic. And I guess that maybe made a lot of noise. I hope y'all been hearing what I said. Okay, so somebody tell me if y'all can hear me. Tommy, do you know if you can hear? I thought Tommy was on the phone. Maybe he's not. Anyway, Beth, you asked what grains that I used. I used, in this bread right here, I actually used some sunflower seeds, some oatmeal, some quinoa, I can't say that name. Okay, Tommy says they can hear you, or they'd be telling you they couldn't. Haha, I guess you would tell me if you could hear me. You couldn't hear me. So anyway, and this is an herb bread that I make too, and I braid it. It's a little simple braid. Okay, it's much better. I put the earphones in because it's got a microphone on it. So, okay. Oh, Suburban, you remember those pink capris, huh? This is my French bread that I make too. And this is not sourdough, and of course I'm still pointing to it. This is not sourdough. I make it, with a different recipe. But yeah, Tommy took a picture one time in some pink capris, and I guess Suburban found that somewhere. Yeah, Gypsy Farmer. That's what I was trying to say. Quinoa. I can't say it, and Tommy's not here to tell me how to say it. So anyway, but then here is the finished product at the farmer's market. This is our table, and it was full. It was so full, and I don't know if you can see back in the background. That's where I have some vegetables. Quinoa. Thank you, Jen. Quinoa. Oh boy, me and my pronunciation. So anyway, okay, let me see. Y'all know I learned my lesson about reading comments out loud, so I'm reading this comment. So, oh, well, good. Oh, good, Sarah. I'm glad you made your first starter. So, that's great. Girls, hush. Anyway, but so we had a great farmer's market. I actually left. Mama had to have a test today, and so a test Friday, and so I left the farmer's market. Corey's girlfriend Kayla had came to the market to help me, and she is just so good. She's so good with people, and she's very friendly, very kind, and so I had no qualms. It was the second time she had ever helped me at the market, and I left her there, and when I got back, she had just about sold out of everything. So anyway, I was so blessed to be able to have her there, and Mama's test turned out fine too. So let's see. Jen says, "Where did you get the huge bread pans?" I guess, Jen, are you talking about these with the French bread? These are the one in the far back is half sheets, and I got them at Sam's, and then the one that's closest to you is a French bread pan. My friend Therese actually got those for me. And they actually you can't really see it good in the picture, but there's actually little air holes in the pan. And I really like those. And I do two different, the one in the French bread pans actually make a nice tall French bread. And when I lay the French bread out on the like the cookie sheet pans, it actually is more of a flat French bread, and which I prefer. When I'm going to make a sandwich on French bread, I prefer the one that's in the pan because it's more flat. You don't have that tall bread. But then if you're going to make garlic bread or something like that, and you want to slice it like this, I like the tall loaf. So anyway, I sell both at the market, but I would like to get me. They actually make I guess it'd be a quadruple French bread pan where you can put 4 loaves in there. But anyway, so. All right, Jen, let me know if I answered your question, because there is a little bit of a delay from when I'm talking and you're telling me, you're saying yes, the loaf pan, so I'm assuming the French bread pans. Kelly says, we love you, Patty. I'll fall down video, and so we have a cork we can't do. Right? I don't understand. And she says she loves my accent. I really don't think I have an accent, Kelly. I mean, you know, I just can't hear it. I mean, I hear some of these people here in Mississippi, because I'm originally from Louisiana, and I can hear their accent, but I just really, really don't feel like I have an accent. So, but anyway, but it was a good baking day. I actually didn't sleep good Wednesday night, so I kind of got over there late at Mama's house. I bake over there because I have a convection oven there, and I was there till about 2 baking. I usually can finish up around noon when I get over there early, but yeah, Pip, they may have those pans at Walmart also. But anyway, so I really had a smooth baking day. Sometimes it's a little rocky when you've been away from all the bacon and everything to get back on track. But I've been really pleased. My son actually works at a restaurant, and my egg custards, y'all. I make egg custards to bring to the market to sell. And this has happened before, and I had forgotten about it. And y'all know I've kind of changed over my ingredients, trying to do things a little bit healthier. And I put butter in my egg custard pans. I typically will spray them with a cooking spray before I put the egg custard in there. And so I've been just putting butter in there, and the edges of them are curling up. I do a crustless egg custard, and so the edges have been curling up, and they were like super, super ugly egg custards. And so anyway, so I sold them at a discount, and I only sold 2 of them. And so there's a man that works at the emergency room that, unfortunately, I know him from the emergency room, and he comes to the farmer's market. I knew him first from the farmer's market, and he loves egg custard. But anyway, we frequent the ER a little too much sometimes. But anyway, so I see him there too. But anyway, I went by there and brought him an egg custard, and so it was funny. He was really tickled because he was working that day. Another guy that had worked the night shift had come by the market and told me he was there, and so I went and brought him one of those. But Corey brought one to work, and he did share it, and his boss that owns a restaurant, which is actually our pastor, he really liked it, and so he wants to know how much I'll charge him to do him 10 egg custards. So I have to get to figuring on that. So he must have really liked the egg custard. So yeah, Jean, I'm just teasing about the accent. I really, when I hear myself talking, I think, oh, I have a bad accent. So, but when I'm just talking, I don't hear it. You know. Let's see. J. Mary, what she said about. Oh, okay. I guess are you talking about that you bought some of the same bread flour that I've been using? I've been really liking that flour that I've been using. Or did you buy? Yeah. But anyway, I haven't been to Sam's, so I haven't bought the Sam's flour that I had been using. But Anyway, but listen, I'm going to tell y'all something I'm going to try at the farmer's market, and I think it's going to go really good. I keep mentioning 7D Farm. I've been watching her videos. I don't have a lot of time to watch videos, but I have. Oh, and you know what? Jan, Jen, I sent you a message on your YouTube video. So I was asking you where your update was. But anyway, I've been wanting to make a cheese bread, a cheddar cheddar cheese bread, and I just really haven't known how to incorporate the cheese in it, because I don't want to do a typical loaf. I want it to where you see the cheese intermingled in it and everything. Well, over at 7D Farm, Sherry has a good video on how to do it, so I'm excited about that. To be able to do that. So, and thank y'all for saying y'all like my accent. So it really don't bother me that much. But anyway, another thing I did, I really had a jam-packed week. I'm hoping this week is going to slow down a little bit for me. So, okay, let me see. Gypsy Farmer says, Patty, have you seen those expandable pastry cutters? They might help divide your cinnamon rolls. Expandable pastry cutters. I haven't seen that. But another thing that Sherry uses is I think she called it a dough blade or something like that. It's about that long, and it's got a wooden handle, and it's like, it kind of looks like a meat cleaver would look. I mean, not a meat cleaver. One of them hatchet-looking things that you chop meat with. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, but it's got wood on top, and you just take it and you cut down like that. I'm thinking if I get one of those, that would work with the cinnamon rolls also. It may cut down good. I just use a real sharp knife. Well, I guess if y'all saw the video, you'll know that. Anyway, one other thing that I did, and Tommy said these pictures are sideways, is I worked on corn, and Tommy was able to come help me. I got him up early to help me do this. Ended up with over 200 ears of corn. And I took, I don't know what that picture is. Let's see. Corn. And I like to take a lot of it off the cob because it takes up so much less room in the freezer. But anyway, Tommy got up that morning and helped me, and it was crazy. I ended up, the corn was delivered to me at the farmer's market Tuesday evening, and so that's why it was all laid out like that, where it wouldn't get hot. You know how when it's been in the field and everything, you can't leave it together. You need to spread it out. Anyway, so I got Tommy up. Well, I think we started doing corn about 7, and that's that we have to milk on Wednesdays also. But anyway, we got the corn, about half of it shucked, and I got it blanched, and I put it cooling while we came over here and milked. And then I went back I did all this at Mama's house. And so then I took that off the cob. And then, of course, then Tommy had his work day he had to deal with, and I had to go bring Mama to the doctor for a checkup. And so when I came back, I got back on it. Well, by the time it was time to take it off the cob again, I had the other half of it to do. Corey was there, and he helped me do it. So I had help both times. So I was really excited about that. And I did freeze. That was all the corn that we took off the cob, I think was 158 ears, and I put the rest in the freezer. So anyway, we'll cook it in the microwave, or I'll just shuck it and boil it if I want to do it like that out of the freezer. So we actually freeze it in the shucks, because the shucks protect it, and we put it in a plastic bag and put it in there. So anyway, it works out good like that. Jean, I've never done it over the open fire. I actually would like to do that. How long do you cook it like that though? Because I know like in the microwave it's just a few minutes, so I'd be scared of burning it. I just don't know, I've never done that. So oh, that's a good tip, Paula. She says that she uses 2 fingers as a measurement for her cinnamon rolls, and it works great. She did that commercially in Texas in her younger years, so that's a great tip. That's a good idea. And I just kind of eyeball it, but I really that would make it more uniform if I did do some kind of measurement and also. Um, anyway, thanks, Pia. Tommy's feeling good. He had an appointment this evening he couldn't get back for, and so he had me all set up and had everything set up because he knew there was no way he could make it back in time for the show. And I think Mama's doing pretty good too. So anyway, uh, let's see. I'm just looking at the chat. I feel like I've missed a few things here. Tommy also took some pictures of our new creek in the back. It's not going to be there very long because when it quits raining, it's going to go away. But look at the water we had. I tell y'all, and look, it's rained today again, but it hasn't. This was from yesterday, and it has not rained this much, but there's still water standing on the ground outside from the rain today because it's so saturated here. It's just we've gotten so much rain, and I just don't know how the garden is really faring. And also, the goats benefited from the rain because the ground was so soggy. A tree fell. You see, there's goats up there standing on it, eating it. So they were excited to have all that green, and there was muscadines way up in the top of the tree, and so we just feel like the roots weren't real deep, and so we feel like just the weight of so much water and everything, it just kind of just pulled it on down. We didn't even hear it fall. Tommy actually found it when he was walking, looking at the water. So, and there's another one. But the goats loved it. But I'm gonna tell you, the horseflies was terrible out there when we were out there. And then this was yesterday evening, and this is today, probably about 2 o'clock. You see how much the goats have cleaned that up? They have really, really, really loved it. So anyway, I think I've already blown through all my pictures of what I had on there. Oh yeah, Cajun Homesteader. It's rained all day in southwest Louisiana. It has not rained all day here today, but it did yesterday. And yesterday it wasn't that nice. I saw Danny from his live stream last night saying how that they've had just the nice misting, soaking rain, which is the perfect kind of rain for the garden. That's not the kind of rain we had. We had pouring rain. But in fact, I went over to Mama's house yesterday morning. My sister Julie's there with her. And I'll go over there in the mornings and drink coffee with her. And I didn't end up getting to come home till like 1 or 2 o'clock because it was just pouring down rain. So it was just amazing how much rain did fall. And y'all, it's not like we've been having rain. So the ground is already pretty saturated. So it was lots and lots of rain. Yeah, Good Game Bees and Homestead. Yeah, I think a lot of Mississippi and Louisiana got a lot of rain, but it just I feel like that. I feel the same way. I feel like it dumped rain on us. I do have my sunflowers are still standing up. Their heads, they should be like this, but their heads are all kind of like looking at the ground right now. I'm hoping they'll pull up, but anyway, I don't know how the garden's going to fare through all this moisture, and we have mulch in a lot of it, so I don't know. When Tommy was traveling today, he's saying on here that that traffic had to slow down because of the hard rain, and we did have a hard shower here, but it's not rain near the amount today as it did yesterday. But looking at the forecast, it's supposed to be raining through Wednesday, I think. So anyway, Jean, the garden, it's surviving right now. I was out there when I picked the edible arrangement and everything, but and everything looks fine. The squash is really kind of laid down and everything. But I just don't know. My tomatoes right now are all still green, so I'm not going to have to worry about them cracking and stuff like that happens when they're starting to turn red. but I just don't know. This is not typical weather of this time of year, especially when the garden is at the point it is. Usually when the garden's at the point it is right now, we're having to deal with water in the garden. So it's it's just different. It's just different this year. So, but I worry about my snap beans. I'm gonna have a jungle of snap beans to deal with. And I may try and slip out there tomorrow with my hip boots on. But I guess everybody might not know what hip boots are. That boots that come up to your hips. I guess that's more of a Louisiana thing. I don't I don't know. But because there's so many bayous and stuff like that. But I don't know. We're just going to have to see how that works out. So, but I tried to talk my sister Julie into coming over here because she's still up here and talking with me on our live stream tonight. But she's refused, and so if she's listening, Julie, please come over and help me out here. So I don't know if she's listening or not. Maybe I ought to send her a text message. But anyway, yeah, we need to do a update video, Gene. I think Tommy may have filmed a little bit of the garden. I really can't remember. I know he filmed some out there walking and look at the water, but I may try and do one tomorrow. So, oh, okay. P says that Patera staked up her laying down sunflowers and it worked. Oh, that's good to know. So far, so good though. Mine are not laying down. Just they're upright, and the head should be like this, and the head's just looking at the ground. It's not on the ground yet. So, I hope that they don't do that. Let's see. Okay, so Becky Doyles telling me how to do the corn for grilling, that you put it in a bucket of water and you soak it in the husk for about a half an hour or so, and then you put them on the grill still in the husk, turning on all sides, and check by pulling back the husk a little. If it's golden yellow, it's done. Okay, well that's simple enough. Carol, the pine needles in the garden, they're holding up pretty good. I was noticing that the other day when I was out there, they're really not breaking down, but the grass is breaking through. It is really, really terrible how bad the grass has really come up through them. And we have been busy, and I'm going to tell the truth. We have not dealt with the grass. We just really haven't. So, anyway, you'll see. We'll show you the good, bad, and the ugly. And the garden's starting to get kind of ugly, and in my little jungle area over there where the horseradish is, and the nasturtiums right there, that's right next to where I have my lettuce. Everything is just kind of growing together. You can barely squeeze through there. And my nasturtiums, it's covering my chamomile. I saw that today. I'd had planted basil in front of it. I'd never grown nasturtiums before. So anyway, I didn't know I thought they were going to run up the fence, and they did to a certain extent, but then the goats kind of ate them off the fence. And so I don't know if that's what messed them up, or if they would have just still spread out like they're doing. But I have chamomile planted down there, and the chamomile's doing good, but it's up under the nasturtiums. My basil, I can barely see it poking up. I have a few basil plants. So, I just, you live and learn. I've never, I typically don't plant flowers and stuff like that, and so I just wasn't familiar with nasturtiums. So anyway, but no big deal. I still have dehydrated basil from last year. I do use quite a bit for the market, though. That's my own basil that I use in my basil bread, and I like being able to do that. But anyway, one thing, I guess probably a lot of y'all already know this, but I had made a little arrangement back when Chelsea brought her friends over. And if you remember, I filmed myself going out picking their lunch And then I showed a picture of us eating the lunch and her friends and everything. Anyway, in that arrangement that I made, I had flowers and everything, but I also had some basil in there. Well, of course, the flowers have died and everything, but I've left the basil in the water, and because it was still pretty and it smells good, and I had forgotten that basil will root, and now it has roots growing. So I have some new basil plants. So if y'all didn't know that you can take sprigs of basil and put it in water and it'll grow roots and then you can plant it, you know now. So anyway, yeah, Carol, I've really liked growing the nasturtiums. And did yours spread out real wide? That's just the only thing that, you know, I oh, and I showed Julie. I think I've told y'all before that, or I told Tommy. I don't know if I've told y'all or not. There was a flower that grew at Mama's house, and she wouldn't ever let me touch it. It was pretty. It was a bright. It was a deep red flower. It was so pretty, and she always say, "Don't touch that, don't touch that," because you know how little kids want to go pick the flowers and all. I don't know if it's poisonous or not, but I'm determined. I'm going to go back there and I'm going to look at the leaves and look at the flowers. I think it's nasturtiums growing because it comes back every year. So anyway, I can't wait to go see that because I want to get some of the seeds and bring them here because that'll be neat to have a flower like that from Mama's house. So, but anyway. So wait a minute. I asked a question and then, yes, okay. So Carol, you said yours did spread out big. Well, I know now, and it would be okay if I wouldn't have planted my basil and my chamomile right there in front of it, but I did. So anyway, my tomatoes, like I was telling you earlier, they're not close to being ripe. I lost a few tomato plants. I didn't plant near as many as I had planted last year. I probably won't have any big tomatoes to sell at the market, but I should have plenty of cherry tomatoes. I still have a few tomato plants that are on the ground, and after all this rain, I don't know if we'll be able to get them off the ground. I just hope the ones stay up. The ones that we got up off the ground, I hope they will stay up because that will just be so disappointing. I've actually bought tomatoes. I had a tomato sandwich for supper tonight, and I've actually earphones hurt my ears, y'all. I got to take that one out. I've been buying a few tomatoes along at the market where we can have fresh tomatoes and all. So anyway, I've been waiting. Let's see. Susan says, Patty, we pull the husk back on the corn, remove the silk, butter, pull the husk back over the corn. Pull the husk back and cover it in foil and bake on the grill. Oh, that's a great tip. And then that way it's ready to eat when you take it off the grill. You don't have to butter it. And then it's not so hot because that's one thing when we've done it in the microwave, it is so doggone hot you can't hardly touch it. But that's a great idea to do it like that. Did anybody ever say that, what I saw somebody post that something happened to Patera, but I don't see what they said. Julie? I don't know. I don't know if she's I don't know if she is on here or not. I know she was watching the ball game too. I'm gonna take a picture of that, Pat, and send it to her. Let me see if I can get it to take right quick. But anyway, I thought y'all would enjoy getting to meet Julie. So let me send this to her. My time's almost up. Well, we have about 20 more minutes. But anyway, it would be a good time if she would come on over and meet y'all, because I know y'all would like to meet her, and she's got a great bat story to tell too. All right, I text her, so I don't know if she'll come or not. But anyway, yeah, the tomato sandwich, it just was so good. Yeah. We just put freshly picked corn still in the husk.
In the open fire. Oh, in the fireplace, Jean? Wow. Well, if you've done that lately, you must be really much up north. We just put freshly picked corn, still in the husk, in the open fire in the fireplace. Wow, I didn't know that you could do that. And when the outer husk is black, it's done. Wow, that's awesome. So I don't guess you meant that you've just done that. You've done that recently. You do that whenever you have a fire going. So, oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time trying to keep up talk and keep up with the comments. I can't read and talk at the same time unless I'm saying what I'm reading. Okay, I'm behind. Oh, they're saying, okay, that Patera hurt her leg from a cattle panel while mowing. Oh goodness. I tell you one thing, those cattle panels, they're something. They're awfully heavy too. So anyway, I don't think Julie's gonna come. I think she's getting settled in for the evening. So yeah, Jean says she hadn't done that recently. But you know, people up north, I guess, are still building fires, which that's still kind of hard to imagine. I have cousins that are in Wyoming, and it is still cold up there. So, and I know some of y'all are from further north, and it's been kind of crazy watching how early we planted this year. It's been crazy for me to realize how early we planted this year because it's just everything is just, I said the other day, it looks like we're at the end of June, beginning of July, the way the garden looks. So, oh, and y'all, I have an issue with the okra I planted, and I meant to look up the names of the okra I planted. I know one's I think it's called burgundy, one is emerald, and there was another one. I planted 3 different kinds, just trying something different. I usually plant cowhorn okra, and it gets really tall to the point I have to reach way up high and pull it way down to cut the okra. But the first okra that I cut, the plant's probably waist high by the time I cut my first okra. Well, I hadn't checked this okra like I should have, and I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating. Y'all can't see my hands good. That okra wasn't hardly taller than this, and it had okra pods on it to the point I threw away more okra than I kept because it was hard. Of course, it can't get long like the cowhorn okra, but still, I didn't even realize there was any out there. So. Oh, hey, Sherry, I'm glad you made it. I was telling them about watching your video on the cheddar bread, the cheddar cheese bread and jalapeno, and I'm going to make some. I'm going to make some for the Friday market. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to learn how to do that. So anyway, oh, okay, Jean. So you didn't actually do it in the house. I see. But I mean, I guess you could though. I would if I had a fire going in my fireplace. I could stick them in there in my wood burning stove. So, let's see. Thanks, Susan. Crimson spineless okra. Yeah, Clemson. I say crimson. Clemson. Yes, that was it. I get all my names and all confused. I do it with vegetables, I do it with people, I do it with everything. So, and then I don't have Tommy here to keep me on track. So, anyway, my week coming up, last week I didn't bring any bread to the Tuesday market. It's a slower market, and I just had so much going on, and so I didn't bring any bread to the market. Tuesday I did have no cinnamon rolls or anything. I didn't bake anything for the market, and so I think I may bake a few cinnamon rolls this week. we'll see how my schedule holds up and everything. But anyway, what I'm really excited, and if any of y'all are in the area, oh, and there was a lady, and now I don't know her name, that came down from Brandon that actually watches some of our videos, and she came to the market, and she happened to come when I had left to bring Mama to the doctor. So I'm so sorry I missed her. But if any of y'all are in our area, this Friday market, we set June is dairy month, and so we have a lot of dairy farmers still here. I say a lot, not near as many as we used to have, but we still have quite a bit of dairy farmers in Lincoln County, and so it's dairy month, and so we have dairy day at the farmers market, and it's a big to do. We have a big white tent that we put up, or that somebody puts them up for us, and anyway, we give out ice cream and chocolate milk and stuff like that, and there's lots of stuff for the kids to do. Rebecca, our extension agent, usually gets it's a fake cow, but they can, mimic milking, where they can start learning where milk actually really comes from for the kids. But anyway, so if any of y'all are in the immediate area, y'all please come by there. We would really love to see y'all, and it was really neat. Week before last, I actually got to meet two people that actually had connected with us on YouTube, and so then this past week, one lady came by. So anyway, let me see the comments. I see a few more going by. Homestyle Mama, yes, I bake in the warmer weather because I do it mainly for the farmers market, and I do bake stuff for us too. But I do a big baking for the farmers market, and it goes through August. So yeah, I will be baking, when it gets hot. So, but I do it. I usually go over like about 5 o'clock in the morning. I start baking, so it's not so hot. And if I can get started at 5, I can be done by 11 or 12 with the baking that I get done for the market. So if we've got a convection oven, and I can do 8 loaves at a time. So that helps out a lot. Oh, well, Carol, that's a great idea. Oh, I have some of those okra pods. So she says she keeps her okra pods she used in flower arrangements. I could have done that today for that arrangement I made, and I have them sitting right there. That would have been so cool. Doggone it. Well, thank you for the tip anyway. So, let's see. And Bama Crimson. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And I'm missing a comment. I don't know. Poor sweet bees, love my honey. Oh, I guess somebody made a comment about maybe it's affecting our bees, the bees with all the rain. I guess they're not able to get out. And I do wonder, we have a beehive, but we don't know a lot about bees. Tommy says we're not bee keepers. We're people that have bees or something like that. Anyway, because in other words, we don't know a lot about bees, but I just wonder, with us having such an early spring, of course, it's made the honey flow earlier and everything, but then with all this rain and everything, I know it's affecting my flower garden, the flowers. I just wonder how it's going to affect with the vegetables and with the bees being able to get out and get their honey and stuff like that. I just don't know, how that's going to be with all that. But anyway, so, I've got my bacon to go this week. I don't think I'll be able to pick green beans this week. I haven't seen any little ones growing, but I really think I'm just a few weeks away from starting to do my canning for my green beans, and I most likely will do a video on that. That's a very, I go all winter and I don't use my canner. And then when I get it out in the summertime, when it's time to start canning, I have to have all my books out, and it's a really a tense time because I'm not afraid of canners blowing up or anything like that. It can happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. I know it can happen. But I'm very careful with it. I don't want to mess my food up, but I'm scared, you do things different in your canner than you do in a typical pressure pot that you just cook food in, so, but anyway, I am looking forward to being able to get some more snap beans put up and everything, but it's always very tense for the first few times I use my canner because, you kind of forget how to do it and everything, and I want to make sure I do everything just right. So, and I haven't canned any squash. I really shouldn't have sold all the squash that I sold. I should have canned it, but I have frozen about four 4 quarts of squash. So I just need to get on it. But y'all, I've really sold a lot of patty pan squash, and I think we've told y'all about that. The white squash that we sell at the market that we sold, I've never done so good with it as I have this year. And what happened was I was the first one at the market to really have squash that first Friday, and people came wanting squash. They were hungry for squash. And I think Craig Smith may have had a few squash, but not much. And so people tried the patty pan squash, and I have so many repeat customers now for the patty pan squash. I sold out Friday, all but one, and it was a giant one. I really just brought it where people could see it because it got so huge. Each week I go out there and I find one that was missed, and we're picking every Tuesday and every Thursday for the market. So anyway, but you always have one that you miss sometimes. So anyway, and also one thing that's been going crazy is my cucumbers. I have really done very, very well with the cucumbers, and that's one thing that I've been selling out of too. I'm still the only one at our market with cucumbers, and it's really been good because people's wanted cucumbers, so they've tried them. And I'm growing the Japanese long, and they're different. And some markets people come and they want different things. They want to try different things. Some markets people don't want to try different things. They want what they've always eaten and everything. But anyway, since I'm the only one with cucumbers, they've been buying my Japanese long. Where am I at? Japanese long cucumbers are that long. They're so huge, but they're small. They're small around, and they have small seeds, and they are burpless. And I have been getting so many repeat customers on them. I sell out of cucumbers well, I didn't sell out last Tuesday, but I sold over half of what I brought, and I sold out.
Some in the house, you can show them one.
Thought you scared me. I forgot you was on the phone. No, there's none in the house. No,
Okay.
no. I could go run out to the fence and grab one though. They've done great growing on the fence too. So, okay, let's see. I had a few questions. Pat asked, do I blanch the squash before I freeze it? Yes, you always blanch squash before you freeze it. I actually have cooked the squash that I froze all the way down because I usually used it in squash bisque, and I really need to do, Tommy, have we had a video on that before? Seemed like we have maybe. But anyway, squash bisque. But it's really, really good, and that's mainly what I use it for, because I really don't like canned squash, and I really don't like the squash frozen. I will eat it, of course, but I usually put it in a casserole or put it in something like that. So, oh yeah, Cajun. Did you answer Cajun Homestead asking about the game? I'm sure Tommy's watching the game if it's on. He's watching it. So, oh, Jen, you want pressure canning videos? You want to see how nervous I get, huh? Just because it's just tense. And you know how when I'm doing a recipe and I go back over the recipe and make sure I put all the ingredients in there? I do that so many times. Oh, I actually have my book for my pressure canner underlined as what I'm supposed to be doing. So, anyway, Susan, I have grown loofah before. It really grew very, very good. I've never eaten it though, because before it starts getting hard, you can eat it. They say it's kind of like okra, but we didn't try it. But I would like to grow that again, and I just haven't. I still have some seeds. Jen, I'm not sure what kind of pressure canner I have, but I have two, and I actually have to order a part. I was given one. I bought one when I first got into it. years and years ago, and it's old, and it's actually like it's that we call it baby poo poo yellow, which that's kind of gross, but I mean that's what color it is. But anyway, and then I have one that you pick the sides up and you screw them down like that. But when I brought it up, you're supposed to have your pressure canners checked to make sure that your gauge is correct, that it's holding the right pressure. And when I brought it up to have that checked and bringing it back home, I've lost my little jiggler thing that goes on it. So I need to order a new one. I don't know where it went to, but it went somewhere. Oh, okay. Paula says that she does not blanch her squash. She just slices it and freezes it, and it turns out great. Susan, I've gotten gourd seeds, and I've tried to grow. I've never had any luck growing gourds. I think one time I had a few, but then I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't do a very good job. Jay Mary's asked, how do I cook the patty pan? You can fry them, and they're amazing. In fact, when I fried them a few weeks ago, my first bite, it kind of tasted like eggplant to me. It really was good, but then, it didn't taste like eggplant. But I am going to try and do like my eggplant parmesan and do it with the patty pan squash, with it being fried like that, and I think it'll be very good. But I also do a casserole, and you can just saute it like you do regular squash. You can actually, cook it in the oven. You can cook it just like any other squash. You can't. It's a very mild flavor. So, but I really, really like it. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Pat. Yep, Julie wouldn't come. So anyway, let's see, Rhonda. Oh, good. That's good, Rhonda. Send us pictures if you do bake some of the sourdough. We'd love to see pictures. It's encouraging to us because we get to see what y'all guys do, and let's see, it was who was it now? Orphan lady sent us a picture. She did something different with the sourdough. It's my sourdough recipe, but she actually made baguettes with it. And so I never had thought about really doing it like that. So I love for y'all to send us your pictures in. And I mean, the cinnamon rolls that Pam Peoples sent in, I think look better than mine. So I'm very impressed with how good she did. So, Susan, the loofahs, the ones I have, you can. I assume they're all the same. I don't know, but don't take. Make sure. I don't want you to eat nothing poisonous. So that's what Tom is making sure. When he's talking about that, the mushrooms and everything, making sure people understood. We're not telling you this is the kind of mushroom you can eat. We're trying to find out for ourselves too. So, we just don't want to. Oh yeah. Let's see. Pia says how to cook okra without slimy in it. Well, we're from the South, and we eat it with the slime in it. I even eat like fried okra. It's not always slimy, especially if you cut it small and everything. It won't necessarily be slimy. But like we eat. Oh, thanks, baby. We eat smothered okra, and that's where you have a little bit of oil in your pan, and you cut it up in pieces like this, and you put it in there. You put salt, and you put an onion on top, and like in a black pot. You gotta use a black pot, and you stir it around, and it just smushes together, and it is very slimy. And so, but we like that. So anyway, okay, I kind of got behind. I do not know how to post pictures. Oh, Rhonda, you sound like me. You can maybe send it in Facebook Messenger, you know, to like to the AldermanFarms on Facebook, and then we can post it from there if you know how to do that. So, anyway. Oh, okay, or email them. I don't know how to email pictures. I do better. I'd better doing that. I'd be better doing a message. But anyway, Homestyle Mom says her favorite is pickled okra. Yes, I like pickled okra too. And I think I'm going to be able to do some pickled okra with this okra I have out here because it's got multiple okra on it. And I'm just falling behind at picking it. I really need to get out there and pick some more. So, but anyway, guys, I think my time is up. And I thought I was going to not have enough to talk about. But anyway, I feel like I have kind of been rambling. But anyway, I'm glad y'all are here and y'all came tonight, and I'm glad y'all stuck with me. And I hope y'all have a great week. And Tommy didn't put my little thing up for me to say. So whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. That's a Patty paraphrase. So anyway, I hope y'all have a great night. And Tommy, I just have to push this stream button. Tommy?
Yes.
He's watching the game. So anyway, guys, I hope y'all have a good night. Thank y'all so much for watching. And we'll be putting some garden updates up this week and let y'all see what the rain did.